All right, first and foremost, I want to say call on your whole blast me out, shy. Hashem Rakakadash, right? And I just say it's all praises to the Father in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, right? I want to give double honors to all the elders and apostles out there, man, who serving and laboring for this truth, man. Um, I'm just gonna get right into it. Also, I want to give a salutations to the brothers out there, man, who laboring. Doing their due diligence out here, man. I just wanted to make sure I was live. Probably nobody going to tune in, I know. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get into it. I wanted to just do a quick breakdown of this right here, chapter Romans 1 and 16. It says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth." So everyone says use this right here, right? We got to understand that this is very powerful right here. It says to the Jew first, and also the Greek, right? Give me 1 second, so yeah. I think it's Acts, but I'm not sure. So, this is basic scripture. Uh, Let me get it. It's Acts 2. Lock in. Pen fell on the ground. Right, yeah. Acts 2 and 21. Right. So it says, "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved." Right. So let's go back. Right. It says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation." Right. Salvation saves. Right. Let's go into that word right there too for salvation. Let's just see what that is really quick. Right. Soteria. Right. Oh, let's go back to like it. Yeah, so it's soteria. Let's see. Salvation. The one be saved, deliver, help, saving, the one be saved. Right. So safety, salvation we seeing, right? And use save, right? We got to see the use of it, right? It's not the same word that's going to be used where we was at Acts 2. So let's go back to Acts 2, right? And we was at 21. We're gonna go. It says, "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved." So let's go here and see that, right? It says, "The name of the Lord shall be saved." So, right? So, right? And it says, "Save, make whole, heal, be whole," right? To save, to keep safe and sound, to rescue from danger or destruction, right? It says, "One from injury or peril," right? To save a suffering one from perishing, i.e., one suffering from disease, to make well, heal, restore to health, right? To reserve one who is in danger of destruction, right? To save or rescue, to save in a technical biblical sense, negatively, to deliver from the penalties of the messianic judgment, right? To save from the evils which obstruct reception of the messianic deliverance. You see this right here? It says to deliver from the penalties of messianic judgment, right? So you're going to be saved by believing in Yahweh because he is coming to judge the world. They don't preach this in the church. Also to save from the evils which obstruct the reception of the messianic deliverance. You got to understand this is cutting up the Christian doctrine right here because they teach that all you have to do is just repent. But we're going to also go back into we'll go to verse 22 where it says, "Ye men of Israel, hear these words." Right? It says, "Yahweh Shai of Nazareth, a man approved of the Most High among you by miracles and wonders and signs which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know, him being delivered by the detriment determinate counsel and foreknowledge of God ye have taken, and by wicked hands have crucified and slain. So right, we want to get into I'm gonna get it thing Hub or something, but I can't get it from Brother Hub. But let me see something. Maccabees 4. Let's see. Oops. KJV. Oh, it's got to put that KJV there. So we're gonna get from Bible Gateway. Hold on. Let me see where I want it. I have it highlighted in my on my phone, so I'm gonna just look it up real quick and then I'll put it on the screen for y'all. Second Maccabees 4, and it was 15, right? Let's actually do Second Maccabees 6 first. I want to get Second Maccabees 6 and 6 because we went off of salvation, right? Actually, let's go back to Romans 1 because that was just dealing with salvation actually. So Romans 1 and 16, where I was actually at, it says, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of the Most High unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first and also to the Greek. Right? So we gotta understand what that means, to the Jew first and also the Greek. Right? And let's go for that word Greek. Right? Ellen, right? And it says Greek Gentile, right? A Greek by either by nationality, whether a native of the mainland or the Greek island or colonies. In a wider sense, the name that embraces all nations, not Jews, that made the language, customs, right, and learning of the Greeks their own. The primary reference is to a difference of religions and worship, right? It says by extension, a Greek speaking person, especially a non-Jew. So let me see. We're gonna go to where I was at second. Okay, so I want to get this right here. I'm going everywhere using all different types of Bibles and everything, but it is whatever. We're gonna just show you really quick. I'm gonna go to we could start it off. So Antiochus tries to force pagan worship on the Jews. So this is still pertaining to the Jews because they was calling themselves Greeks, right? But we're gonna go into it. It says, not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of God of their I jumped down to there. From the laws of their fathers, and not to live after the laws of the Most High, right? And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem. So this goes into the beginning of what happened for the rededication of the temple, man, with Judas Maccabees, right? With the Feast of Dedication, which Christ celebrated, man. This goes into why the Feast of Dedication even needed to happen, right? But or Hanukkah, you feel what I mean? Because Hanukkah in Hebrew means dedication, right? We could get that, but we're not going to go into that right now, right? But rather here nor there. So it says to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius. So when we've seen in that last section where it says where they worship or religions or worship of gods, because they worship in the temple of Jupiter Olympius, right? Let me just do a quick phone search of it because I don't want to. Well, I could do a quick search of it. So let me see. Peter, oh, Olympias, right? The Olympian Zeus, deity, Greek and Roman mythology. Look at that. The first source that was biblical encyclopedia. Do you want me to get another one? We can. Um, Jupiter was the king of the gods. That's Wikipedia. That's easily changed. I could go and change Wikipedia right now. Cleveland Museum of Art. Oh, okay. That ain't really nothing. That's just a thing they got. We just gonna. I mean, I got multiple sources showing me that Jupiter Olympius is a Greek god, right? The game I'm actually playing right now, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, man, goes into that, man, and how they worship the gods, man. This is not what we partook in. Even if I want to go here, Jeremiah 10, right? Let's go here. Let's go here really quick. And it says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel, that saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." That's why they had Thor, the god of thunder, Jupiter, Olympius, the god of Jupiter. See, they were dismayed at the signs of heaven, man. They were dismayed at the signs of heaven. So they were worshiping other gods, man. And to continue on, right? And that in their jurism, right? The Jupiter of defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in that place. The coming of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, for the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, right? Who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy place, and besides that brought in things that were not lawful. The altar was filled with profane things which the law forbiddeth, right? Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself to be a Jew. So they were not allowed to keep the laws of God. So that when you go into Romans 1 and Lakia, right, Romans 1 and 16, it says, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first and also to the Greek. So that's going to the people who were calling themselves Greek. They were Hellenistic, man, right? They were Hellenized because they were worshiping other gods during the time of when the temple was seized and everything, man, right? And then we fought back, got it back, and rededicated. And that's when we came into this part now, man, right? And we just gotta understand that when it's talking about the Jew first, then the Greek is not talking about that. So we're gonna also go and show you how they favored the ways of the Grecians more than they did the ways of the Most High, right? So let's get that. Uh, Actually, let's just get see, and they have different versions of the Apocrypha. So that's how you know it's biblical. Even in the Apocrypha, that's when they kept the feast of the feast of dedication started. So you can't say Christ keeping the feast of dedication in this Bible, this here, making it non-canonical. Man, canonical is just a Catholic term anyway. So if it's canon, that's Catholic. So if you want to be Catholic, have this in the Bible sometimes, man. Not all, but some. Right. We're gonna actually start. Hmm. I want to start at verse 10. It says this is second Maccabees chapter 4 verse 10. It says which when the king had granted and had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to Greekish fashion. So basically Uh, we could really get deep into this, man. Uh, they persuaded the people to start following after the Greekish ways, man. After, I mean, it was just like how we are now. We partake in the American ways, man. Right, the Greekish fashion, man. And it says, and the royal privileges granted of special favors to the Jews by the means of John, the father of Epolamus, right, who went ambassador to Rome for amity and aid, right, he took away. And putting down the governments which were according to the law, he brought up new customs against the law, right? So this is like it says, the father of Pelamis, John, right? He put forth new things that are against the law, man. And that's when we have uh, Paul going to the people of Corinthian or Corinthia, and you have Paul going to the likes of Galatia and so on and so forth, even though he was flawed with Galatia, right? Because that's why we get to Romans 1 to begin with, because that's during the time of the council. He pleaded his case. You feel what I'm saying? But either way, we got to understand that it, 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 we dealing with how these things came in order, man. How it was accepted amongst our people to do such things that Paul went to the people and wrote about. He was telling about the customs of a man sleeping with having his own wife, meaning only having a wife and not sleeping with another man's wife, sharing each other, right? Not having only one singular wife, but and we're gonna get there, right? Well, I don't want to go into that just yet. I mean, I might as well. I could go back, right? Let every man have his own, and I want that KJV, right? And it's First Corinthians 7. Should well, this is easy. Let's get the whole chapter though, right? First Corinthians 7. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. So that wasn't saying that only one a man should have one wife. Not getting into that, but I was talking about the things that were being done. Right? He said, now concerning the things which you wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. But then he said, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, because they was going and sleeping with everybody. He said it was a good thing for a man not to touch a woman. Going against the customs of the Bible, it says it's not a good thing for a man to be alone, man. So you gotta understand he was only saying that for that situation. He was not saying that for everybody, man, right? Because they were dealing with each other's wives. You know what I'm saying in Corinthia. So and then that's going back into Second Maccabees 1:10, where it says, which when the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand to rule forthwith, brought his own nation to Greekish fashion. So he brought his nation to Greekish fashion. But I'm gonna jump down to where I left off in verse 11, and it says, "Who went ambassador to Rome for amity and aid, he took away and putting down the governments which were according to the law. He brought up new customs against the law." Right, he brought up new customs against the law, for he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection and make them wear a hat. So basically, they only was wearing a hat. They wasn't wearing nothing else, right? Under Greekish fashion, man, what did the Greeks do? Right? We understand that the history of the Grecians were heinous. I can't even look it up on Google because I would probably get banned on YouTube. Man. That's how heinous the Grecians were. But do the research, man. The Grecians of PDF files, right? PD files, right? Whatever you want to call them, right? The Greeks were up full of that, man. And this is when that came into the customs, man. right? And it says, now such was the height of Greek fashions and increase of heathenish manners through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest, right? And then verse 14, it says that the priest had no courage to serve anymore at the altar, but despising the temple, neglecting the sacrifices, hasting, hastened to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in a place of exercise after the game of discus called them forth. Unlawful allowance in a place of exercise, man. So they did a lot of wicked things, man. Right, not setting by the honors of their fathers, right, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. So they would call, if you couldn't call yourself a Jew during these times, what would you call yourself? A Greek. Like what we call ourselves African American, right? So what would that be? You calling yourself a Greek or black? That's just calling yourself another term that they gave you, man. You are be calling yourself the Greeks, man. You're a Greek, right? You gotta understand when it goes into we're just gonna touch base on this Romans 1 and 16 one more time. Right? It says, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Hamashiach, for it is the power of the Most High unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. That is talking about the Grecians. Even if you want to go here, right? That's talking about the Israelites as well, man. The barbarians. That's just like another term for nigga, man, right? But one who is rude in speech, one whose speech is rough or rude, I mean rough and harsh, niggas, man, right? One who speaks a foreign or a strange language which is not understood by another. They took and they talked in a dialogue that they couldn't understand, like how we talk now, man. Right? That's how they was. They was like, yo, man, why can't y'all just talk like us? Y'all barbarians, right? That sounds exactly how it is today, man. And when they go into the barbarians, you don't really actually before I speak, I don't think, but yeah, I wasn't. I was gonna say in the apocrypha, there's no other mentions of barbarians. So it's no real basis for that. But Paul speaks of it often. It says in Colossians, he even says, where there is neither Jew, Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor circumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ in all and in all. So now we go in here when it says one whose speech is rude, right? So let's get that, right? Oh no. Okay. This is Paul, right? Paul defends his apostleship. So this is Paul. And it says this 2 Corinthians 11:6. It says, though I be rude in speech. He was a barbarian. Yet not in knowledge. That was what they were referred to as a barbarian. So during that time, Paul was a barbarian, man. Simple. You can't get around that, man. Right? It says, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. So, I mean, do I have to get it? I mean, it's easy. It's easy. This is Romans 11:1, and even the header of this is crazy. It says Israel is not cast away. But it says, I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid, for I am also an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. Yo, and then people say that this is talking about another nation, even in the camps, man. They say that it's talking about another nation, man, but they use blue letter Bible, man. The blue letter Bible, they sometimes they just tell you how it is, man. Israel is not cast away. This is not dealing with other nations, man. Romans 11 is not dealing with other nations. That's a whole nother breakdown for a whole nother day, though. But yeah, man. Paul was an Israelite of the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin, man. That was Paul, man. So we gotta understand that the barbarians, when he said he was sent to the barbarians, he was sent to the Jews, he was sent to the Greeks, and all that. Um, I'm a debtor to both the Greeks and to the barbarians, both to the wise and to the unwise. So they use this and saying that ain't even to dealing with the 12 tribes, but that is dealing only with the 12 tribes right there, man. Right? Even here. He said, everyone that believeth, the Jew first and also the Greek. And he only saying the Jew first. Let's see. John 4. Okay. So here we go. It says, ye worship, you know not what. Ain't this red letters? It says, John 4:21, Yahushua saith unto him, woman, believe me, that the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. So Yahushua, this would be in red letters. Yahushua said that salvation was of the Jews. That's why when Paul said the Jew first and also the Greek, right? That's what he was mentioning, because the Jews is through Judah is the salvation coming through, man. Right? I don't know exactly. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Hmm. Is this it? Let's see. It don't sound familiar, but verse 8 might sound a little bit more familiar. Let's see. Okay, no, it's this. It's right. So this is Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7. Yahweh also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. Right? So that's where it's coming from, where it says to the Jew first. That's what it's talking about. And then the rest of Israel after, or the Greeks after. Because and then when we go into the Greeks, it's talking about them being Jews kind of too, because the 12 tribes or the 10 tribes was already, or the 9.5 tribes, whatever we want to call it. They were already scattered abroad. They were in there, they were here already in what we call America, or in the Americas, right? So when this time came about, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, right, do not magnify themselves against Judah, right? So this is talking about how we wanted them to all come together and be saved through Judah, but then it's going to be scattered all throughout the world, because it's just going to get this right here, and then I might end it right there. Because James, right? It's James 1:1. It says, James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, right? So we got to understand that he was dealing, all this was dealing still with the 12 tribes, even when we get into uh, Romans chapter 1, verse 16. So with that, turn my camera on really quick. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. How about you? Shabbat. Until next time.